Hi, welcome to UniversityNinja.com's video tutorials. Today we're going to be training you how to get a cheaper textbook, a lot cheaper than the other examples that we've given before. Um, in this case, it's going to take a little bit more effort on your part, slightly, and a little bit more investigation. Um, a lot more of the details is put on the website, so read up on that. Essentially, we talked about this in another example. For in this particular case, a textbook that I have to have for a particular class. And in this case, this textbook is the most recent edition. In this case, it was the 5th edition. Now, some professors are willing to let you use the previous edition of a textbook, let's say the 4th edition or something. And I mentioned already that the only really big difference in some textbooks is really the problems. And if your professor is okay with you doing that, then you might as well just use the 4th edition textbook versus the 5th edition. And you may be wondering why. Well, only do this if you're really trying to save on money. Um, you can save a lot more money if you're using a previous edition because obviously the previous edition is obsolete and you can probably get those books for a lot cheaper. So again, let's just start here at the bookstore. You can see the price of the book. Um, you can find the book on Amazon. Here you'll also find this information. So here on the Amazon site, they have the latest edition here, but you can also find other editions down here, which you might be interested in. Um, there's the hardcover and also the paperback edition that's there as well. So here's the hardcover edition for the previous book, and you're like, what the? It's $136, and you're wondering, why am I paying a few dollars cheaper for the previous edition? Well, it's probably still fairly recent, and a lot of teachers haven't necessarily reverted back to a previous edition. But let's keep digging around. Here's a paperback edition of that same book, but for the same edition, the 4th edition book, but in paperback form. Quite reasonably cheaper. I mean, if you don't mind having a paperback edition, it's perfectly fine. You can save even more money. Now, let's go back to the third-party websites and see if they can be of any help as well. Now, earlier I showed you this in a previous tutorial, and I did a search on mechanics of materials, and I purposely ignored this, but you'll notice here that the textbook shows up here, and this is the 4th edition of the textbook. And here you can find the best price for $20. Um, maybe even cheaper, let's see. And that's also the 4th edition. So you can actually get the book for $12. And I don't know, you can find it from this person. So around, it's 20 bucks for the actual book, which is not a really bad deal. It's also a hardcover. It's used. It might be probably a little bit beat up, but I mean the material is still usable. So the point I'm trying to get across is instead of spending $184 to buy the latest edition of a book, I was able to skimp on this and buy a book for 12 bucks. Now, again, talk to your professors, ask them if it's okay. In this case, my professor was fine with letting us use the previous edition of a book. I obviously just purchased the 5th edition, but he offered the opportunity to use the 4th edition. So check this opportunity out. It's a great way to save over $100. I mean, look at that. It's a lot of money. And again, good luck with that. So this is www.universityninja.com. And if you have any questions, send us an email. Um, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.